Hi, this is Rosemary, and this is my journal for the Napkin Decoupage swap. As you can see, the title is A Secret Garden. You see a little vintage picture of a girl in a garden with an envelope and a small little, I don't know, lacy piece, the border. My closure is a button with a ribbon I like to use. The cover is a brown 9x12 envelope that I glued shut. And I got a crumpled paper that I Mod Podge on top of it. Then I painted it gold. And then some green acrylic paint. And then I did some distress inking to give it this marble effect. Because of the paper, crumpled paper, there's a little bit of texture. And it feels really nice and soft, but yet kind of interesting. So that's the cover. Again, I put ribbon instead of my elastic, but I still like those buttons. Using up my stash of buttons. The inside here, I went to a thrift store and I found this wonderful gardening book. And as I was going through it, this was a picture of the annuals. And as soon as I saw it, I knew I was going to put it into the journal. So here is the napkin decoupage. This bird comes from a napkin. I put it over a die cut, and I really like that effect, that it's kind of perched on a window. I guess I could have done a light blue. Being a scrap junk journal, these are pieces of paper that, you know, these 2.5, 3, sometimes rectangles that you have when you're trimming paper. And so the pocket is made out of one of those pieces of paper, as well as the tags, and there's a die cut. This is a napkin that I received in a swap, and these were my early adventures of it. I had this paper in my stash. That early piece, that bird that you saw at the first page, this is its same leftover pieces, and I cut them out and added them on. This is some bias tape I received in a swap, and I really like that effect, and just leftover pieces. And again, here's a die. I started punching in the center of the page right there, and I kind of really like that effect. Here you see the two tags. This is a beautiful picture of this little girl with her flowers, and a die cut. So again, you don't always, I usually punch on the outside side, and this was an adventure punch, stamping in the inside. So here's my quote: "Life is too short to miss out on being really happy." And I hope this journal makes you happy as you watch this video. Again, here are some graphic 45 stamps. The world is so full of a number of, I have to get it closer to me, sorry about that, things. I'm sure we should all be as happy as kings. And again, my vision is not as good as it should be. Again, punch, Martha Stewart punch with a little side tuck right there. Again, same thing. There you see a picture of a king card with a king. It flips open, little card, sow a character, reap a destiny. This doily was, I use the same technique that you glue down the napkins, and it gives it such a smooth effect that you don't even feel any edges right there. So there you see the doily. It's kind of hidden by the tag right there. Again, this is a girl in the swing. I used to love to swing when I was a little girl, so I had to have it when I saw it. So how do you like to go up in the air so blue? Oh, I do think it's a pleasantest thing every child should do, which I do believe that. Again, stamping at the top. This napkin should look familiar. Trying to embellish, putting some lace right there. This pocket, this is a pocket up here, as you can see the tag. And down below is another pocket. Two different napkins, but I think they match very, very well. So pocket there, pocket up there. This was just a piece of leftover napkin, and the butterfly is a piece of wrapping paper, and it complemented the other page, so I just put it in, decoupaged it in. And here you see again received that in a swap. Piece of music paper, as you can see, it's from an appointment book. This is one of Tim Holtz's paper dolls. Put some butterfly wings, and it is again one of those papers that had been floating around. The stamping in the center. These are all graphic 45 stamps that I just fell in love with. One of the things I really like is putting napkins kind of coming out, so like, you know, branches of flowers. Again, you see that pocket, a hummingbird with the stamping, and my tags. This little tag, leftover piece of file folder, dictionary page, and it was just a piece of napkin, so I just put it on, and there it goes. You have a really pretty little tag. So don't throw away those small pieces of napkin. You can kind of collage them on. And here again, there's the napkin, some lace that acts as a tuck. This is again leftover piece of napkin, and some ribbon down below. And they make beautiful tags without very little effort. Here's another tuck spot. This is a flower. And someone gave me a piece of like satin that had been torn into strips. And I put it down at the bottom. There you see the stamping. This is the polka dotted effect that usually used with Kool-Aid. I used it with coffee. And there you see the tucking papers, and there you go. Very pretty page. Again, this is one of those pages that opens up, and the butterfly is the closure. And there you see my tag. I think this one opens up like that. The other one did. Underneath you can see the doily. This was I was using these, and they were kind of torn up, but I glued them down, and no one could tell that they were torn. So when you have your doilies that are kind of torn, use that napkin decoupage technique, and it works very well. Here's a tag I made from a greeting card with this birdhouse. It's actually helping me close. This window opens up, and you can see the journaling spots, and it also is a pocket, and there's a tag to show you. And so this is the closure. I guess you could do a little bit of journaling there also. This is really a beautiful page. When you have your napkins, don't be afraid of large pieces of napkin. And I had this, and I just love the whole picture, so I just trimmed on the outside. I might have done a little bit of trimming in between, I can't remember. And just take the technique very slowly, making sure that your glue is moist, because once it dries, that's when it doesn't stick on the paper. This was another new graphic 45 stamp. I was trying them all out here. And my punching. This is napkin, this is some wrapping paper, and same that you see the wrapping paper up there. I've almost used up this piece of wrapping paper that I was gifted with. Somebody was going to throw it away, and it's made many wonderful pages. That's a printable from Pinterest. Here's a little envelope that's in line with a little tag inside of it. The envelope acts as a tuck spot. Here is another napkin that I made into a pocket. I decoupaged it onto a index card, then did the scoring. And here's another tag again. You can see that bird that I used. And here's a little quote of all the things that inspire and delight. The best is, behold, is nature in flight. And you see the doily. And up here, these are, leftover pieces that were just kind of floating around. Adds a little bit of texture. I don't know if you can really see that. I had it out of view there, but can you see, if you look really closely, I had all these little pieces of dictionary pages, and I glued them kind of like a checkerboard just for interest. You get kind of tired just gluing the same way all the time, so I was playing with this. Use your scraps. This was the lavender was a piece of the napkin, and there was a little rectangle cut out in the corner. And so I had these two little flowers, again, just the edges of a napkin, and it makes such a difference, such a finishing effect to it. You see the paper, I put the borders on, and I think it's a giant moth. A piece of score paper that just was a little piece of music there. These were just some leftover pieces. I just cut the little flowers apart, and there they go. And if you look right here, this is the rest of the napkin. It was just a small little rectangle napkin, the leaves. And this is what I love about the napkin decoupage. It just kind of embellishes these pages. This was a I got carried away with the wrapping paper, and I fussy cut to my heart's content. Again, you notice how small it is. Use that technique and everything is glued down really very securely. This is part of a pocket right there. And here is a tag, and all I did was put a butterfly. You could add a quote in there if you wanted, or just let it stand as it is. This is just decoupaging. Again, I get another one of those pockets, one of the tags, plain leftover pieces, left over from this napkin, and again, life is the flower, love is the honey, which you will see quite a few times in this journal. Here are the little girls, paper doll girls. Here's another tag, leftover piece. You notice it overflows from the tag. I did not trim it. I kind of like that effect. So there it goes. Same thing. This was just a strip of paper. Looks like stationery. Just did a little bit of fussy cutting, and there it went. This is a small collage of napkin pieces. Just wanted to use it up. The girl in the swing. This is a piece of ribbon just to finish off the page. Again, here's another napkin that is been made into a pocket. Here's the tag. If you look at the bottom pieces, they don't really match. They're just pieces, but they do frame the bird there. So again, the message is just glue them on, decoupage them on. This is a very pretty page. The doily I colored with some distress ink. This is that napkin with that bird, that real large one, and I decoupaged it onto a dictionary page, and it's on an index card. There's a die cut up there, and this is one of those papers folded into like an envelope, and there you go. I love my little bike, which I did fussy cut. This is some like bias tape, and looks like an awning, so I thought it was very pretty, went well together. A top loading tuck spot. This is one of my favorite tags there, and you can see 3 different pieces, but they form a wonderful picture. This is a leftover piece just to finish off the pages. Napkin decoupage. This is a pocket there. Again, I think you see I have tons of tags. Very easy. Just really, it was an exercise in getting rid of scrap paper. There you see my little girl, the lace tuck spot. Again, another tuck spot, little boy. You can see I finished it with a little strip of paper, kind of making it into a frame. This is a beautiful napkin, and I made it into a giant pocket. I just love this flower. Looks like my centennial. Look up here. This was a strip from the bicycle. I think the bicycle napkin. So I had these long strips, and I used them right there just to kind of add some finishing effects to this. On this page, a book page, music, and then a die cut with some stamping. And like I said, you will see those quotes. I guess I went carried away. This is also a beautiful page because this is a gigantic, this flower forms a gigantic belly band. And down at the bottom, there's a pocket right there. So I thought this stamp went well with that flower. Nature never did betray the heart that loved her. And so I thought that was pretty. And here's some little, don't be afraid to just put some lace, because it does finish those pages up. And here you see My Little Girls. It's a triangle pocket with the sisters. This is a page that kind of flips open. Here's some of that like bias tape, and you can do some journaling. I was having some fun with some bugs there. And just a journaling page. This is also a very pretty page. It opens up. See my stampings down at the bottom. Let me take this tag out. There you see the doily. It almost blends in totally, and there's some lace, so there's many different layers on this page. Now look at this page. I love this napkin, and I fussy cut it, and of course realizing it was too wide for my paper. So what I did was I cut it to the edge of the paper, decoupage this, then this is before I sewed in the signatures, kind of did some measuring and did it the overflow onto this page. So it is just really a very beautiful effect there. And so play, it's all about playing. There you see the lace really trying to embellish. There you see just a napkin border with the stamping. This is just some butterflies just flying there, and I just decided to just leave it like that. And here's a pocket, another little paper doll girl. This was a tag floating around my stash. Here's another envelope with a little tiny tag. This is some leftover paper there. And the envelope forms a little tuck spot. And there you see the decoration and some little leftover lace I had. Here's the window looking out into the garden. It's a pocket. So there's a tag there, and here's another pocket. And we come to the back of the page, and there you see the closure. So this is, I have really loved making this journal. I think I just went I'm almost kind of late getting it out because I could not stop embellishing it. I just love napkin decoupage. Try to make a small tutorial on just a few little tips that I've learned as I worked with these napkins. And one of the things I just want to say is you can make these beautiful tags with very little effort, getting rid of a lot of just paper, scrap paper. Don't throw it away. Little pieces of napkin. You can just just it adds texture, it adds background to it. Don't be afraid to try to make some pictures, images on this. So I'm just, like I said, I just truly love this napkin decoupage. I think it's cheaper than printing. I'd rather buy a stack of 2 or 3 stacks of napkins than do all the color printing. So again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you again.